Hey, what's going on? 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we are joined with a phenomenal band. These guys have just recently emerged onto the punk rock scene this year in 2024. But each and every member is not new to the punk rock community. We have TeethOut, Prince Edward Island's own, right here on the radio station airwaves. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good, man. Good. Very good.
I got to say, first and foremost, such an honor to chop it up with you guys. I mean, TeethOut, you guys, like I was telling you guys before we went live, TeethOut is one of those bands that I really feel are going to go very far within the punk rock community, man. You guys are absolutely on fire, and you're still in your first year as well.
We're in our first month and a half.
But I got to say as well, Ozone, first and foremost, man, it's good to actually chop it up with you again. I know for the past couple of years we've been talking back and forth and whatnot through Instagram, but it's kind of like a full circle moment for myself, man. Like I told you before we went live, one of my first interviews was with yourself and the rest of Trashed Ambulance. Now we're here 2.5 years later, and I'm interviewing you and your new band, TeethOut, man. So again, it's good to actually chop it up face to face with you again.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's been a while.
It has, man. I guess I know we talked on IG through text and whatnot, but that's never the same, man. Face to face is always better.
Yeah, this is the way to go.
But no, I know you guys are very busy individuals, and of course, you know, it's Wednesday night. I'm not going to take you away from your night too long, but I got to take you back to this band because, as you guys said, you're fresh into it, man. A month and a half in, you guys are absolutely killing it so far. But how did you guys all come together? Like, what was the start of TeethOut?
Jason was coming back home in what was that? Early,
July.
Yeah, in July, and he reached out to myself, to Ira, to start something up. He just wanted to keep going straight out of Trash Ambulance into something else, and so I recruited this guy. Terry plays drums, and Mike can't be here tonight. Mike's the second guitar player, so we just started rolling from there.
And I have to ask, do you still do Trash Ambulance, or is that just sorry? Are you juggling both bands right now? I had to ask. Once I saw TeethOut emerge, I was like, man, I'm curious.
No, I'm not anymore. It's just the distance was too far, so they've got a new guy named Nick that's playing bass with them now, but they haven't announced it yet, but there's some shows they're going to have showing up. We'll be in the audience to see them, so we get to see our replacement.
I will admit, I got to say, that sucks having to see your replacement, but hey, at least it sounds like if you're there for the show and you're actually, you know, it sounds like it was a mutual thing, man. So you guys got a phenomenal band here. Trashed Ambulance is still going to do good on their own, man. So one thing I love about punk rock, man, you know what I mean? When one thing goes down, another thing happens, man. You got to love it.
Yep, and now it's a good excuse for them to come to the East Coast too. So.
Hey, maybe the East Coast will. If they come to the East Coast, do you think you might jump on stage and play with both bands, or do you think that's something that's probably out of the equation?
If I did, I'd probably grab a guitar and go. But I told them any tours they do, if I can make it, I'll go sell merch for them. That's pressure and just as much fun.
And also, I have to ask, what inspired the name of TeethOut? Because I got to say, this is a cliche question. I don't normally ask this, but I mean, like, TeethOut. I mean, it's such a very unique name for a band, but also pretty hardcore as well.
Please, Ira.
I think I was listening to a band called Conservative Military Image, and they had a lyric in there somewheres about teeth out, and that it just stuck with me, so I just wanted to use it for a name.
I got to admit, I totally thought it was going to be like, you know, a crazy story. Like you guys were all hanging out one night, got into a bar fight and knocked some guy's teeth out. And you're like, yo, we should start a band called TeethOut.
That's the story now. That's the story now.
I mean, that would be a pretty gnarly, actually, story, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think everyone in their life has at least gotten into some fight at some way, shape, or form, man. So, I mean, that's what I thought it was going to be. But hey, you know what I mean? It's always cool to ask. You would never know the real answer unless you ask the story.
Oh, exactly.
Let's go with that fight.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's
the new story.
If you see our bio change tomorrow, you'll know why.
And what I'll do is, like, if you guys need to, just to help the credibility, this part of the interview, I can just beep it right out. So like all you hear is beep, 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 and then they'd be like, "That's the story." But also as well, guys, like I actually saw on Instagram one of your guys' very first outings, actually as a band doing your stuff, was actually going to one of the very last NoFX concerts here in Canada. I got to say, first and foremost, super freaking jealous, but happy for you guys for that experience. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm jealous as hell you got to witness that. But I got to ask, what was it like just witnessing punk rock history before your very eyes and seeing one of the very last NoFX shows?
It was sad for me because it was almost 30 plus years I was listening to that band.
Yeah, for me it was I got to actually chat with Smelly for a few seconds, and he's one of my idols. He liked playing fast, and he's the guy I followed. So I was pretty pumped at the end of the show when it was done. He came down, got a picture with him, and it was pretty rad.
Yeah, they didn't invite me. So.
He refers to NoFX as the Bon Jovi of punk rock.
Yeah.
Hey Josh, what's your favorite NoFX song?
I prefer None or Zero. Probably are those NoFX songs? I like those.
I got to admit, everyone has. I will admit, for the longest time, I will admit this, and I feel like the listeners on this station, I might lose a few subscribers for this. I might possibly quite get hung, but for the longest time, I wasn't really a huge NoFX fan. I never really saw the hype. But I will admit, there is a few songs that I do kind of mess with, but it's not like I won't run out and go, "Oh my god, it's NoFX." I'd be like, "Oh, cool, they're playing this on the radio, sweet," like. But I will admit, so I could feel the subscribers just going right now. Like I can just feel it just dropping. But it's the truth, man. Like I don't hate NoFX. It's just a few songs. I'm like, they're all right.
Yeah, there's certain bands like I've never been able to get into Rancid or Strung Out. Two bands that I should absolutely love. I don't know. They don't do it for me. Yeah. I'll be getting curb stomped next practice.
Next thing you know, you're in a mosh pit at the next show. Be like, I watched that Punk World radio interview. That's that guy that said he doesn't like Rancid. Get him.
Yeah, he's poser. Sucks.
But I will admit, there's a lot of one thing I did notice with punk rock, there's a lot of gatekeeping. But I will be honest, like everyone has their own likes, right? Like not everyone's gonna like every single punk rock band that emerges. You know what I mean? Like everyone has their own musical taste, musical likes. So I mean, if you don't like Rancid, you don't like Rancid. It doesn't mean you hate all of punk rock just because you don't like a few bands. I mean, there's a lot of other absolutely killer bands within the punk rock community.
Yeah, and you'll never meet 4 pickier, more opinionated punk rock fans than us 4 right here.
But I also, as well, because I do know you guys have a very diverse and amazing sound as well, man. Because I do know you guys have a lot of Fat Records type vibes and Epitaph as well. I really like how you guys blend your sound together to actually bring what we actually heard on your most recent release, Cancel Me.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's like, I know Ira and I were chatting before I moved here just about, because we used to play in a hardcore band together 20 years ago, and we also played in an emo-ish band together, among other things. So when we were getting back, it's like, well, I think we even made one of those Spotify playlists that's takes what you're both listening to, a mix, and combines them together. And I was going through, it's every song was Tate for both of us. So I'm it's a little bit of Taylor Swift and Tate McRae, but that's 90% of it was all skate parts. So I'm nothing's changed. This is going to be where it ends up.
Yeah, and Terry and I were playing in a band called Radio Roulette, and it was an easy transition for us as well, because we were playing stuff very similar at the time. So, yeah.
And I do know with Cancel Me, phenomenal song. I love the lyrics. I love what you guys are doing. And I have to ask, Mick, we dig a little bit more into that song. And of course, what was it like just being in the studio working on this particular release? And of course, where can we actually stream ourselves a copy of it today?
You can do all the studio talk.
Yeah. I think we had jammed a couple times and just working on some other songs. And then kind of out of nowhere, Ira just came up with the intro riff, and then kind of the rest of the song kind of on the fly. And we were kind of after like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool song. Like, I like where this is going. So a couple demos later, and then my buddy Sean from Loser Points, and he was also formerly in Trashed Ambulance, and I took over from him in bass originally. He has a studio in Edmonton, so we were able to record all the tracks here, and then he threw it together and made it sound like it does. So songwriting wise, yeah, we just kind of did this one more remotely and then sent it to him. But we recorded vocals in a jam spot that's here locally, and yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I wrote the words on the way out to the jam spot, and yeah, it all came together.
Yeah.
And we actually have a fan question here from Gwen. I got to give her a shout out because she watches so many interviews and always drops a question, which I love that. She's like, "Hey, how are you guys doing? What is your ultimate accomplishment goal for the band?"
Yeah. Like any accomplishment is a big one for some of us anyway. Like Jason definitely has accomplished with Trashed Ambulance and everything he was able to do, and the label as well, High End Denim. But for the rest of us, I mean, the fact that we have almost 3,000 listens and almost 1,500 listeners in the first 3 weeks, we're completely unknown. Like, no one really knows who we are. Like, that alone is pretty amazing in itself. So, man, anything that comes our way after this is, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And I think just being in the Maritimes too, like I'm being back home, I don't even know what the scene's like here anymore. So getting involved in the punk scene here, trying to get some more rad bands on the island, because I know both Ira and Josh have been promoters in previous years or lives or however long ago, I don't know. But yeah, if we can try to keep playing around the Maritimes, draw some bands here and use some connections to get some sweet punk shows, especially on PEI, because a lot of bands don't make it out this far. They'll go to Halifax, or No Effects went to Moncton for some reason, and they never really come over here. So it'd be nice to try to get some more bands over here when they know that there's some solid skate punk here.
And also, just going back, I feel like I should have actually brought the fan question up after I did this follow-up question, but here we are. So Cancel Me was actually recorded and mixed by Sean Taggart at Hog Audio. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us, what was it like just working with Sean? Because I got to say, he did a phenomenal job at mixing and helping you guys record, actually, this particular track.
Yeah, he's been my good friend for 20-some years. So, yeah, he just got into the kind of mixing and producing game in the last little while. So I know he was, knew I was playing in a new band. He said, send it to me. I want to mix it. I want to mix it. So, and then, yeah, he did. And he made it sound pretty good. So chances are he'll be doing the next batch here too. So it'll sound pretty good. So I know he's done a couple other mixes just because, like I said, we're close friends that he sent me that aren't out yet from other bands. They sound pretty good too. So he's doing a good job. So if you need your stuff mixed, go get the Hog at Hog Audio.
And also, as well, later on in the year, you guys are actually planning to release your debut album actually on High Denim Records. I was wondering, what can the listeners actually expect from this up and coming album? And of course, will there be a more precise date other than just Winter's End?
It's got. We're working on a date. We're just finishing up 2 more songs that should be sent off to Sean fairly soon, and then the goal is for a 6-song EP. We're hoping early mid-December. We're trying to lock in that date in the next little bit here, but things are coming together well, and we look forward to seeing what Sean can do with the music. He was so quick last time, so he really does a great job. So yeah, hopefully early to mid December, but we'll have a more confirmed date in the next probably by the end of October.
And I have to ask you guys, because obviously, you guys are a month and a half into this. You guys already got a phenomenal single. You guys are already working on your 6-track EP. I do know that Ozone, you're a co-owner of High End Denim Records, but still, you know what I mean? You guys are still signed to a label. So either way, whether you're a co-owner or not, that's still cool to get signed and linked to a label. That's rad. So you got all these amazing accomplishments in a month and a half, man. I got to ask, what is next for TeethOut, man? Because I feel like there is many more cats in the bag and many more things that you guys are going to be accomplishing just this year in 2024.
Ira, what's next?
I've been talking to a few guys already about doing a music video. And then other than that, I'd like to play a couple of shows at least.
Yeah, maybe playing live.
Playing live would be big.
Costa Rica tour.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Costa Rica tour.
Make sure you go to Costa Rica in the wintertime, though. That way it's like, you get an excuse to escape the wintry weather here in Canada.
Yeah.
I think silently our goal is to release this EP, never play a show on Prince Edward Island, and just go straight to Costa Rica for our show.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not from PEI, so I can't really speak for every individual that lives on the island. But if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't be mad at you guys. I'd be like, do what you need to do. You know what I mean? I'd be like, it sucks here, man. It's cold. It's winter. I don't blame you guys.
We want this to be the most unconventional punk rock band of all time.
It'd be more unconventional if you guys actually do that and then promote it, but you promote it around PEI, but you only provide the live link where they got to pay $10 for the live stream. Now that's unconventional, dude. And just call it debut show of Prince Edward Island's own TeethOut. The link and then $10. It's like a pay-per-view, man. And then next thing you know, you're on a beach, literally just doing like big day out type shit. You know what I mean?
We'll just do a TeethOut OnlyFans kind of thing.
I think you might attract more weirdos than punk rock fans if you do the OnlyFans thing, because I think people might be like, "Ooh, TeethOut!" Like, wait, we're getting some gummies.
That's the real story behind the.
Next thing you know, all they hear is punk rock. They'd be like, "The fuck? That's not what I signed up for."
That would be unconventional. Though.
Yes, that would be. Yeah.
But guys, obviously I know how to follow you on social media, but for the individuals right here in Ontario that are just discovering TeethOut, how do they actually go about following you guys all across the board so they can stay updated on everything you got going on and, of course, that potential Costa Rica show?
Yeah, we got Instagram right now, TeethOut. I'm sure a dentist or something has just TeethOut. And then the same thing, Facebook.com/TeethOut902. Yeah, High End Denim Record stuff.
Ira's working on a TikTok here soon.
Oh.
Am I?
I'm going to take that as probably not going to be coming for a while. So,
or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
By the time you follow you.
But no, I got to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for a bit of your time. And it was such an honor chopping it up with all four of you. Like I said, Ozone, it's an honor to actually interview you again and chop it up with you, man. I'm glad to see you're doing another music venture. You're doing TeethOut. You guys are absolutely killing it. And I got to tell you, we've already been spinning the brand new record since you actually sent it to me, Ozone. So I'll say this like I do to every band that I love. If you keep sending it, we hear it at 99.9. Punk World Radio FM, we're going to keep spinning it, man. So you make it, we'll play it, man. It sounds like a damn good deal to me.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome, guys. Definitely have yourselves a phenomenal night, and hopefully down the line we'll make this happen again sometime soon.
For sure, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one, guys.
Yeah.